Have you ever experienced the energy in your house shifting from a more positive feel to a heavier, more negative feel? Well, let's talk about that. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Reverend Sharon Renae, and welcome to this week's Sunday Inspiration, sponsored by Spiritually Centered. And again, we're in the month of October, and I told you we were going to talk a lot about spirits and all of those kinds of things that people start to look for in that month of October, because the veil is thinner, or they say, right? All right, now I want to talk about the energy in your home, and I want to talk about it in two different ways. So one is that your house starts to feel heavy and you start to dread going home. And it's part of this is like your emotions, like if you're feeling really negative or if you're really sad, if you're having a lot of disagreements, that can start to put a heaviness to your home. And things that can help clear that energy is to start to clean it up. And as you do that, you're moving your energy. Do a smudging, a sage, something into that, but setting the intent to lighten that energy. But depression and fighting and arguing can weight the energy of a home down. And so a good clearing and opening the windows can help. All right? So the other one is that you love thrift shopping. You love estate sales. You love getting a bargain wherever you can. You love to collect antiques. And they really beautify your home. They create the energy that you want, but all of a sudden things start to happen. You hear noises that you're not used to hearing. Things are falling that don't usually fall. So what's going on with that? So it has the potential of bringing home a haunted item. So here's the thing is that people get very attached to their belongings. And for some people, it's the best thing that they've ever had. It's something that was theirs. Or it could be that they don't like to share, but that people can actually attach to specific items if it holds memories. And again, this is that state we were kind of talking about last week where they're in their own purgatory. They refuse to move on. And they're in another area, right? And so they're making their presence known and that this is theirs. So I always recommend that when you do that, when you bring something home, and I love thrift stores, I love antique sales, I love things that have a story to them. But pray over them, put them outside, smudge them, clear them, because prayer has an intent. Prayer is intentional. And so again, saying, thank you, Spirit, for cleansing this dresser, and that if there is anyone or anything attached, thank you for taking it to its rightful place so that I can be blessed to have this in my home and that this soul can continue to grow and to move on. So that's one of the things that we can do. But when we do those kinds of things, we're bringing spirits in. Another way of bringing it in, which is not in a good way, is when, you decide, hey, it's Halloween, let's play with a spirit board. Now, I can hear some of you saying, well, I don't play with a Ouija board. I play with an angel board. Really, they're the same things, and it's not necessarily calling in angels. But you're opening up a gateway for not people that have passed, but for those yucky things that I like to call dust balls. And they come in by invitation. Also, if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, your aura is weakened and can leave gaps in that energy. And when you call something down, it can actually even attach to you. So be very mindful of those things. I recommend that you don't play with those things, because unless you really know how to get rid of what you've invited in, you shouldn't be messing with it, because it can create a lot of havoc in your home. And especially if you've been suffering depression or anything else, that adds that extra weight. Now, again, all of this can be cleared, and use that intention and really take that command of clearing that energy so that you can move that forward. Now, sometimes I used to get calls where people wanted me to come and tell them if their house was haunted or not, but they didn't want to get rid of it. They wanted to keep it, like they could own that soul. So spirits, ghosts, are souls that have not moved on. And when they're stuck, they don't have the opportunity to grow. And for us to want to take ownership, to have them for our entertainment, or to tell others like, oh, yes, I live in a haunted house. Oh, wait till you come over and see what they can do. That can be very harmful. First of all, it's not allowing that soul to grow, because that can be released. But that soul can become angry and upset. And in that, they could open up a gateway, which also brings in those cooties that you don't want to have. So be very mindful, but keep your space at home clear. Keep it clean. Keep the energy moving. Music, wind chimes, smudging, cleaning out the closets. All of these things can help re-energize your home. And especially if you are a collector of things, really pray over them before you bring them in. Bless them. Clear that energy. And until next time, namaste.